it's just hard watching Space Jam after everything that came out because he's just all over that.
Really?
Movie.
Well, the I Believe I Can Fly, you know what I mean? Like that's
the climax.
That's such a climactic part of the movie. But do you truly feel like, because this has been the big issue
I was
with R.
listening
Kelly.
to the remix to Ignition on the way over here. I do not care.
That's the thing. Can we admit? Hey,
I separate the art from
Have we ever? I don't think I've ever heard the not remix to Ignition.
Oh, I do. Bro, this is dope as fuck. It's very. The remix is more like party. The original is more like, all right, you in bed and you ready to smash like a 14-year-old or some shit. All right.
Oh my god!
I just fucking.
Oh, see, you ain't separated no part. What you talking about?
I was fucking.
No, but can we admit?
You're just listening to it and you're like, I could pee. I could pee right now.
Can we admit though that the thing is that with R. Kelly, like certain songs after the fact sound insane though. Like I still can't listen to "Don't You Say No Tonight" and not think that he's talking about children.
Oh no! It's definitely
He left a lot of clues.
Of course, after everything went down, you hear his music differently.
Yeah.
Speaking of, he over here talking about, speaking of minority restaurants, because he's like, this is the things that make you want to go there. You know, and you'd be like, at the cheesecake with all of your friends and family. And I'd be like, damn, bro. And then who's going to pay the bill? Me.
Like this nigga sound like Willy Wonka for fucking...
Yeah.
Just bringing all them kids.
And that's the thing. So yeah, he at the cheesecake with all of your friends and family.
You think
got your parents there.
You think he had the Willy Wonka elevator for the dungeon
That'd be hilarious if he did, bro.
to like escape? Like, shit, the fits are here.
Man, oh shit.
Let's start the pod.
I don't know. I just can't imagine R. Kelly being that clever of it. I need to put an elevator that fucking flies off of this.
I guess, because then he'd get confused because he can't read, right?
He had to be friends with Elon Musk for that type of shit to happen.
And I don't think he got to that. I don't think he got to that level. To be honest, can we really quickly? How upsetting must it be to be the pedophile and not get invited to Epstein's Island? Because he was never on any of the lists. Like, how it got to be to not make the cut? Like, he over here, like, hey, you ain't even got to trick me. You know I like the kids, and you're not going to invite me to the island once?
I think because he was so blatant about it, maybe.
You have to be a little secretive about it.
Yeah,
like, they
yeah.
have to trick you into thinking it.
Yeah,
like,
they'd be like, yo,
off the gate with the pedophilia.
R. Kelly got a big mouth, bro. He's going to sing about this.
Out at Epstein's with all of your friends.
I feel like when you're a pedophile, you have like a specific taste, and I feel like his is underage American women. I don't like my bitches overseas. This shit
That's the thing. He doesn't want them to be from the overseas.
Yeah, it's too easy. I like the chain. I don't know what the fuck this nigga's into.
I don't know, man. Are we ever going? That's one of those things. Is R. Kelly one of the artists? Like right now, earlier we were talking about like Young Thug. I hope he could still put out tracks in jail because things aren't really looking good for him right now.
There's a whole lot of rappers that still do
right,
tracks.
and I'm fine. That's fine. You want to hear that because he's talking about the streets and now he's in jail for street activity. So it makes sense that you're out here for that reason. But R. Kelly, do you want to hear R. Kelly tracks from jail?
Yeah.
Drop in the soap in cell 17. I don't know if I want to see
Yeah.
Trapped in the closet, bro. So it's like, are you in the jail? I'm trapped in the jail cell.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck.
What do you think the video's going to be like?
I just went to the chow hall. I don't know if we want to hear that, bro. I don't know.
I would, for experimental purposes.
Just to kind of see what his process is like in there.
For research.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's bummed that he's not going to like a juvenile detention center?
He's not?
No. Like he's like, why do I have to be tried as an adult? Like, maybe.
I don't think that crosses his mind.
I think there's no way. There ain't no way. No situation with children is not crossing his mind. He's thought about every child situation, I think. Especially now in jail, all he's got time to do is think.
I think this nigga's an idiot.
You think so?
Yeah, I
Just
think
flat out.
Yeah, bro, that interview with Gayle King.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Nigga sounded like a fucking 10-year-old kid. I didn't see it. You was always lying on me. I'm like, bro, you obviously you're at a level of celebrity status to where you can't understand any of your actions. You know, it's that narcissism. I got friends like that, bro. They're just unaware. I feel like the nigga just doesn't know he's a fucking idiot.
Like he just thinks that at this point, he thinks that stuff's normal.
Yeah, bro.
Because I think he's put it in plain sight for so long. Like I will listen to other podcasts of people from Chicago, and they'll be here talking about like, oh yeah, I mean like we saw him passing by in front of the schools and shit. Like everyone knew. And I think he had things in plain sight for so long that he almost in his mind believed nothing was wrong with the shit he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep doing the same thing when you're like 18, 17, and then you get older, you just, you know, I feel like when you're in a level that like you don't have to adapt. You don't really have to grow or mature because you have so much money. You can be a kid for the rest of the fucking life.
Right, like that. That's been the whole thing people talk about with child stars is like. You come up with a weird sense of what life is. Basically, the people who are supposed to be guiding you and leading you are now wanting money from you or trying to make sure that
it's a weird place to be in. I can only imagine. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, the people who supposed to have your back, your folks, them niggas can take advantage of you. Oh, he making all this money. But I can't remember who, but there was some chick from Family Matters who became a porn star. Like after the show, she was like one of the like you seen Family Matters, right?
Yeah.
So you know you had as far as the main family, you had like the brother,
the Winslows or whatever.
The Winslows, right? Yeah. You had the brother, the sister, and then like there was a younger sister. And just one episode, she went up to her room, and just never came back. Right? They cut her from the fucking show, and then she became a porn star later on. But she was telling her story how she pretty much was like 9, 10 years old, holding down her whole family just from that fucking TV show job. That's fucking how you 9 years old taking care of your whole family.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's the responsibility. Your career better keep on going because we got bills to pay and we bought a bigger house now.
You better go shit. You got cut. Better go do some porn, bitch. Like
right, better do something. Find some way.
Like a dick, make some bread.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Jeez.
But that's the kind of thing is like it really does put you in a perspective when you'll see a lot of these people. Like I started watching the whole Miley Cyrus journey, right? Like watching some videos on that whole thing. It's like you get put on a show. They own your name. So let's just say like you pick your name to be on that show. They own your name. So if you want to go and perform music under your name, they get a cut because you signed a contract and they own your name. So, like, everything that you do is now tied to this. And they're like, hey, by the way, you got to make sure you're on your tip-top behavior because we have a brand to keep up here. So we own your name, so your name better be brand-friendly. You as a person better live your life brand-friendly. And that makes you go crazy. So she has to start doing stuff like getting naked on a wrecking ball so that they basically say, we don't want to be associated with you anymore. She can take her name back. And then she went back to making, like, normal country music.
Yeah.
But she just had to do some wild shit. She said, I'm gonna go hang out with some rappers. See how y'all like that.
Well, but even the name thing, isn't that like why Chappelle won't ever do a Chappelle show again? Because Comedy Central owns like
not anymore.
Oh, not anymore?
Yeah, he got his name back. He
got
everything.
Because I think that was the whole thing is like once Netflix had it, they sold it to Netflix. He was like, yo, I didn't even get to be a part of this deal. Netflix loves him so much. He has so many specials there. They support him all the time. Then it goes, yo, we want this back. Okay, cool. We're going to work with Dave because I feel like
the whole issue was HBO Max was streaming it too.
Mm-hmm.
And initially when Chappelle, he talked about it on the special he did, but when he first started Chappelle's show, he pitched it to HBO. And they legit told him, what do we need you for?
Yeah, they had Chris Rock at the time, right?
Yeah, it was like, we got Chris Rock. What the fuck we need you for? And, that's a hurtful thing to say to somebody like, bro, that's like, I'm not, they can be more than one famous black person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
you know what I mean?
Right,
That was a very racist. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck you mean? You got, you know what I mean? So, and then to have his show now on HBO Max, this is the irony of it. Like, dude, you told me you didn't want it. Now y'all streaming my shit. Like,
now that everything's iconic, you got like all the references.
Feel like some type of way. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's always a weird one too. I mean, luckily managed to really leverage himself as a person to get all that stuff done.
One of my favorite comic, man.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Like I came to the States in 2004, and I never knew that the reason people said like "I'm rich, bitch" was until like I got a little older and I found Chappelle Show. I was like, oh, this is why people say these things.
You realize like the cultural
Yeah.
significance.
Yeah.
Like
5 fingers say to the face.
it's just such
Dylon. Because I spit hot fire. This shit is fucking funny.
But that's a crazy thing. Like you realize like what it is that these people, like these creators have. I think we're starting to get into a market where the creators have a lot more leverage. Networks really aren't the powerhouses anymore because now most of the stuff that I watch is on YouTube from a specific creator's channel themselves. So like, yeah, YouTube is the platform, but you're not looking at these powerhouses of networks like Comedy Central. Comedy Central, I mean, literally has just kind of...
It just fell off. Like, no one's trying to get that Comedy Central
like that's not
short special anymore.
Why would you want a special that'll perform on at a certain time, one time, and you have to hope people go there and see it? That's like not even the model anymore. Like for me to see a special, all the specials I've seen recently, past like 5 specials I've seen recently have just been YouTube specials.
For real.
The people who put out themselves.
Well, I have I'm very biased towards YouTube specials. It's just his own personal bias.
You start feeling like they're like straight to DVD?
Yeah, that's what it feels bootleg. You know what I mean? So like my specials I watch on like Netflix or HBO. I don't do Comedy Central, not because I don't hate it, but it's because I'm not subscribed to Hulu or the fuck it's on. You know what I mean?
Exactly. There's a barrier to entry. You're basically you're not
either have cable
fans.
or like
You have to be on some terrestrial like TV stuff, or like you got to be subscribed to everything and be keeping up. But like that's my whole thing with YouTube is like there's no barrier to entry. Like in my opinion, Netflix fell off. Like I watch Hulu now. I have all the platforms, but I know what I watch having all the platforms. I am not on Netflix unless a comedian goes around on all the podcasts and says, "Yo, I have a special dropping on Netflix." Last time I went to Netflix was because Chris Stefano dropped his special there, and he had to go on podcast for me to know, okay, let me go to Netflix to watch this special because I'm not searching through there. But I'm on YouTube all the time, and I'll be like, oh, wait, Ali Sadiq put out a special? And then I'll click on it, and I'll watch the whole thing. Oh, Giannis Pappas put a special out? And I'm watching all these specials that people are basically... The way the specials are made now is this is why I don't feel like they're bootleg. So like the Chris Stefano special specifically, he recorded that special to put on YouTube. He goes, I shopped around, nobody wanted anything, so I'm just going to do this myself. And in the special, he goes, I'm going to put this on YouTube, but unless Netflix buys it or something like that, then I'll sell it to Netflix. You guys can have it. That's like his closing joke. And then Netflix did buy the special, and they said, we want you to keep that in there, though. So that same special was recorded, prepared, and everything for YouTube by him and his own crew. And because he has leverage as an artist, Netflix goes, we'll buy it and put it on our platform and give you X amount of money for it. And that's what he did. But not only did he do that, he said, I want to keep 15 minutes to put on YouTube, and then I want to keep 15 minutes to put on my Patreon. That way I grow my YouTube audience, I grow my own thing, which is my Patreon platform, but I will also get the look of doing it here on Netflix. And that's kind of like the leverage that I'm starting to see with artists now, which I think is a good thing in this space.
No, yeah. Like I said, I'm biased, but there's no doubt about YouTube is probably the better.
For eyes, at least.
Yeah, for eyes. But at the same time, it's yourself. When you have complete creative control of your art, that's
right. You have no
thing.
notes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No notes. No one telling you.
No network being like, hey.
Hey, you shouldn't say that trans joke.
Yeah. Which
everyone be getting in trouble with these trans jokes.
Netflix has been very cool with it, man.
Netflix has been.
Have you heard about the
Ricky Gervais thing?
Ricky Gervais thing?
That's the British dude.
Yeah, but he just put out a special, and he had a trans joke, and he got attacked for it. Not only that, Norm Macdonald, he actually put that like Zoom special out. Apparently, like he just he knew he was dying already, and he recorded a whole special, and Netflix has it, and they put it out, and it's like this is like the first time we've seen like a posthumous special like this, and he had a trans joke in there, but I don't think anyone's gonna attack him because what
Can't
benefit does it
defend
do?
themselves, yeah,
There's no, you don't want to attack the dead like that. But everyone's got like a trans joke, and everyone's been like, is there a reason, do you think, that has been, for one, just kind of like a big topic in comedy, and why so many people, even though it's a small group of people, are being so defensive about it?
Man, that's a tough one, bro. 'Cause I have like few trans jokes on my own. I'm not gonna.
I mean, I feel like it's just
But I think it's just, first of all, it's just the concept is, I'm not even like trying to be disrespectful. It is like just hilarious, bro. Because bro,
go in. Yeah.
bro, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say this like on the podcast or anything, but
yeah.
it's just, like people out there chopping their dicks off because they want to be a chick. That shit just blows my fucking mind.
And that is, I think it's crazy to ponder upon, because we're in this society right now, America specifically, where, and I don't know, I could be very ignorant because I'm not doing my research, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is an American issue or a global issue. If it's a global issue, then I'm like, oh, as a society, our world has decided that this is how people can feel, and people are finally able to talk about it. But if it's an American thing, just like a lot of these school shootings, I'm like, we might have some mental health issues. Not to say that there isn't a large group of people in the trans community that truly feel the way they feel, but there are also a large group of people that last week said they're a potato, and this week said that they're a woman, but now because they said that they're a woman, they're a marginalized group, and we have to protect them at all costs. But when you said you were a potato last week, you were getting tried to put into like, a mental...
That just... I hate all those, like... All those that pronoun stuff, you have to call me this, call me that. I'm like, ugh. I get it, but at the same time, it's just like,
But I also said, like, my whole thing is, if you want, like, I don't really give a fuck, but like, wear a name tag. Don't make it my responsibility to figure this shit out, though.
Yeah, like that.
Like, we have a regular
is...
thing, like, yes, hello, my pronoun is, and then I will look at it and address you. But like, if I say, how you doing, sir? It's ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't know that because there was nothing to let me know that.
Yeah,
at all.
Your appearance.
I let my body tell me like what to call you. Like if I'm around, like I'm being real. There's some transgender chicks that like they give off a very girly vibe. They still look hideous, but I'm just fucking around. But like I feel that girlish vibe, so I'm like I instinctively call you she or ma'am. And then there's some transgender people that use that deep voice like that. I feel like I'm talking to a guy. You know what I mean? So I kind of just feel it. Yeah. But out of respect, I'll call them
And like, the thing too is like I think there's a certain sense of like rebellion in comedy and like comics, because you think about when you look at a lot of comics probably growing up, it's like they were the class clown, or they were always trying to say the edgy thing. So it's like, because there's a big movement where you're not really trying to, everyone, don't step on any toes. Like, hey, you were for sure not going to say anything about this group. Do you think that's why it's pushing comedians to make those jokes? Is it's like, oh, we can't make these jokes? Well, we're going to make them anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course. I feel like that's pretty much one of the big cases. When you tell somebody it's like a kid, well, I can't do that. Why?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to do it anyways.
And I mean, especially with, people... a lot of times trying to claim that, like, with comedians, a lot of them are trying to be like modern day philosophers, where they're just pondering, right? You're getting a lot of that observational stuff. The whole idea is thinking and why this, and asking the questions, and then being like, how we can make it into a joke.
It's still a confusing topic. Even to this day, I'm still confused on like how exactly do you deal with it? Like, I love everybody. I accept everybody for who they are. But at the same time, I don't know everything. I got questions. What makes you want to do that? Or what are you going through? Or like, just more insight on...
You got to sleep with them. That's how you get into the insight.
And then I'm never going to understand these motherfuckers.
That's the thing. You never understand.
Oh, wait. So you don't understand until you're inside?
Exactly. Until you're on the inside.
Or the inside of you.
Either way, but that's when you really understand.
Either way.
That's how you...
However it happens. Like that scene in Avatar where they combine tails?
Ew.
Hey, but let's start the pod though.
Let's start the pod.
2, 1. Welcome to the 2.5 Citizens Podcast. I'm Zen.
It's your boy P.
And we got a special guest with us today. We got a comedian from Houston, Texas. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Marlo Ray. Hey.
That rhymes.
That was the point.
You got to give him more credit for that. He's been thinking about this. He's prepared.
You're right.
He's prepared.
Up
Do
the
you
top.
have a monologue ready?
I don't.
Do you have a cold
I'm just
open?
winging it.
Do you have a cold open prepared for us
Hell
today?
yeah, bro. Fuck the system. And if that system wants to fuck me, I'm all down because I'm a kinky motherfucker.
That's an insane way to address. That's an insane thing to call trans people. The system is a wild thing to call trans people.
What the hell? Are we back to this? Like, I didn't say anything. I'm
You was
innocent.
talking about the system fucking you, dog.
Huh? Yeah.
No, I think he meant like I don't know what.
I'm talking about like you know,
Like America.
Yeah, America.
I thought ain't that trans?
This nigga.
Oh, it's because it's June. It's June.
So, everybody, yes, please. Can we give a
I
round
like how y'all
to
trying to
Pride
save
Month?
yourselves. This is the terrible intro to a podcast.
Can we everybody for Pride Month, by the way, we are a business who also likes to, dip our toes into the monetary gain of Pride Month. So use promo code TAHC Pride.
Yeah, and
to
then
get 15% off.
We're gonna make this.
We're gonna
rainbow.
make a rainbow one. Don't worry. Let's get back to the episode.
And this is probably the perfect day or time to announce that I am also a homosexual.
Bro, I would have loved to
disclaimer.
I would love to get that exclusive on here.
Yeah.
I would love to get that exclusive.
That'd be awesome. We were having such a we tried doing this last week, and it was a shame that a lot of it got lost.
We had technical difficulties, unfortunately,
But
which is insane because in the entire year and a half we've been doing this, we've never had that happen.
No.
They bring a black guy in and they just go.
All of a sudden,
but
actually, I actually want to get into a topic if we're getting into for one Pride Month and the commercialization of Pride Month, where basically companies are who literally don't care about gay people are this month we gonna have a Pride sale.
They care about gay money. That's what they care about.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that being said, in this month also, the other topic of conversation when it comes to things like corporatizing holidays and making money off of them and going through that whole thing, Juneteenth has been the big topic of conversation. And with that came Walmart making a great value Juneteenth ice cream. I want to show you the images of this Juneteenth ice cream, the flavoring. See if you find an issue with Walmart doing something like this, if it benefits anybody at all, or if it sounds like a good flavor. Because to me, when I saw it, I was like, I don't really like the packaging, but the flavor doesn't sound bad. I might give the flavor a try.
what's the flavor?
Swirled red velvet and cheesecake flavored ice cream.
That doesn't sound bad. Swirled red velvet and cheesecake?
So are these the flavors that the companies think of when they think of gay people?
No. This
That's
is
for Juneteenth.
This is Juneteenth ice cream.
Yeah, so they were like, what's the gayest shit we can fucking make for
No.
Juneteenth. So Pride Month, June, but Juneteenth, which is where the holiday in which is a wild holiday, by the way.
Oh,
The slaves were already freed.
Oh.
They came down to Galveston and said, by the way, I don't know if anyone told y'all, but slaves been freed.
Yeah.
And on that
my statement
Juneteenth,
still stands. What on God's earth thing, sweet swirled red velvet and cheesecake flavor, niggas will like this shit. That can apply to both. Well, but I don't know. That's just a racist. I don't know.
that's my whole
That is
thing.
just crazy. That's
Yeah, bro.
My whole thing with that is it
This
makes me
ain't Patrick's
wonder.
Day, bro. Let's put some fucking cookies and cream. I don't know, nigga. What the fuck you put in?
You got to put something green, pistachio.
Pistachio.
Mint.
Yeah.
No, actually happened to me one time. It was St. Patrick's Day. I was working in a building, and the Starbucks was giving free green drinks. And I had literally no idea what it was other than it was a green drink. We're giving free green drinks. Mm-hmm. And I bought it. I got it because it was free and I'm Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
I sipped it in front of the barista, and as soon as I walked out the building, I threw it away. It was the most disgusting drink I ever tried to ingest. If this is what the St. Patrick's, whatever they are, the Irish, if that's what they be on, you can miss me with that. But with this specifically, this gives me the same energy that we make a big joke about this specific situation on this podcast, which is when Kendall Jenner thought she was going to solve racism with a Pepsi.
You ever watched that commercial?
It was an insane commercial where basically there's police on one side, protesters
it's like
on the
a
other
fake
side.
protest.
Like it's
Pepsi's
crazy.
everywhere.
Things are raging on. Some beautiful songs passing by as she's just enjoying her walk as a white woman. She grabs a Pepsi, hands it to the police officer, and then all of a sudden the police officers and the protesters are all cool. And everything's all nice and merry and jolly in the world because Kendall Jenner handed the police officer a Pepsi. And my thought is like, what is supposed to...
Was he like naked or something?
No. There was no protest going on. It was just weird just vibing.
That's the only way I'll see that shit stopping. Oh shit, Kendall Jenner's butt-ass naked giving me a Pepsi.
Nah, she was fully clothed, handing Pepsis out. But when I see this, it just makes me wonder, like, why? And what is this supposed to do? Like, is this...
niggas buy ice cream?
Of course, but that's literally it. This is the first time.
Again, it's like it was like the Free Larry Hoover concert. It's like
true. The Free Larry Hoover concert, which was where Kanye West and Drake were beefing.
Okay.
And then Kanye said, Drake, we need to squash this for the good of the community. We need to get together, squash the beef, and have a concert at the LA Bowl or whatever. And we need to have a Free Larry Hoover concert to raise awareness to Free Larry Hoover.
Okay.
And then they did it.
And then
Larry Hoover's just been nothing has happened since then. To me, it felt like this was a thing to say, we're going to do this for Larry Hoover, but they really just did it to squash it because since then, Kanye has referenced being cool with Drake again in like 2-3 songs. And even Kendrick has referenced them being cool again. So this is just for lyrics because Larry Hoover ain't free.
Yeah, like
and nobody's talking about Larry Hoover being
apparently
free.
you could like stream the event. He said he watched it, and then he's like, they didn't tell me anything to do. They didn't
tell me to call anybody to try to get Larry Hoover free. They didn't tell me to donate to anything for the cause. They didn't tell me to do anything. All they did was throw weird like snake disses by like Drake performing all the songs that have rumored to have Kanye disses in them, and then Kanye just performing old songs. And I was just like, cool. I like the concert.
And then they had the merch, and then but they kept the money for that.
So they didn't go to a foundation or anything like that. They just had merch like normal people would. And so I'm just like, cool. I enjoyed what it was. I'm a fan, but why? Yeah. Why did we do this?
Was there a secret conspiracy where the judge was like, all right, if y'all squash it.
If you and Drake are cool again, we'll free Larry Hoover. We'll free Larry Hoover if y'all are cool again. But if not, I don't know what to tell you. He's going to have to stay up. He's going to stay in. So it just certain things don't make sense to me.
I feel like the initial thought was like it was inspiring. They're like, yeah, but we should, make a concert so we can free Larry Hoover. And they got the money. Was like, fuck that nigga, bro.
Yeah, like what Larry Hoover ever do for us?
Yeah. He's been in there so long. Like,
he's probably already adapted.
Dude, if he sees an iPhone, his mind's gonna explode. Like he needs to stay in there for his own good.
To be honest, I mean, as far as the whole Larry Hoover thing, the only person who's ever brought
he needs to stay in there for 3 more months so we can make a few more concerts.
Yeah, right, we need to do a few more. The only person that I feel like has brought awareness to who Larry Hoover is on a grand scale has been like Rick Ross. First time I had ever heard that name was that
One Nation Under God.
Yeah, Larry Hoover or whatever. But Rip and Work, Hallelujah. Right? So when I would hear that, then I'm like, shouldn't Rick Ross be doing something for this? I mean, he gotta, thank Larry Hoover for a big portion of his career. Like, I'll never hear. And that's the other thing is he goes, me and Drizzy, we at peace. Larry Hoover finna get released. That's not a line either, though.
Yeah.
Like, he just says, me and Drizzy, we at peace. So what happened with Larry Hoover? I don't know. Court's still dealing with that.
Larry Hoover is still in prison till this day?
Yeah. I mean, this concert happened just like It's been a little bit, I guess,
I think it's been like 6 months now.
probably. But
Are you sure he didn't like get out and then get back in?
Nah, basically what happened was
it's been stuck in continuous. Okay.
his son has been out here really trying to speak for him. So Kanye West went on the Drink Champs and did like 2 interviews, and one of which he brought Larry Hoover's son to talk about.
What did he get arrested for, Larry Hoover? I'm not familiar with his
So
background.
basically, he was the leader of the BDs, the GDs.
The GDs in Chicago.
He was the leader of the GDs in Chicago. Pretty much once Larry Hoover went in, that kind of separated the groups, and that's kind of how we had like different gang sets and stuff like that. And Chicago kind of became the Wild Wild West after that. Right. But in everyone's mind, he was the one holding things together. Apparently, then he started getting caught up for running things from jail. So, like, he's the leader of the gang, and so they keep him in high max security and say that he is a monster and someone who can, you know, has so many connections. Well, he's been in there pretty much his entire life. He's like 60, 70 years old at this point, and his son, who has never seen him other than through glass, is basically out here being like, look, how at this age he's not going to be, you know, doing anything. I wouldn't want him around if he was that type of person. I know he's a changed man and just want my father around. And there's all these laws that supposedly are supposed to be in place, like the First Step Act that I believe was put under Trump's administration. I don't know. But that's been the thing Kanye's been talking about. But that are basically ways where Larry Hoover can come home. And that's the thing that they've been pushing for, basically about the reform and about, you know, people being able to change and the community and stuff like that.
All the shit he did must have took place in like the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it's like that's the reason, you know, Rick Ross is referencing him, you know what I mean? Like, I'm whipping work like Larry Hoover, stuff like that. So that's the whole thing. And really the only thing that happened after the concert was that the judge was like, I have no idea why they're pushing to get Larry Hoover free. Larry Hoover is not a good man who should be free. I don't know why this is the push that they're making. So no one said anything about, you know, I really see your point now. So it didn't change anyone's mind.
When you read Larry Hoover's story, you're like, it just sounds like he's serving his sentence.
Yeah, that's what but
Like,
that's exactly how, like, all right.
It sounds kind of crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
not even in it. He
ran the game.
shit, bro.
But
like,
free Young
like,
Thug,
why is
though.
Scarface behind bars? Nigga, you know what the fuck? You know what he did?
Nah, but free Young Thug, though. We need to chill out with that, though. Free Young Thug, though.
I don't know, man. Those lyrics.
Hey, you're right, bro. But God forbid we, you know, keep talking about Young Thug because those transgenders are gonna fucking.
Yo, real Yo.
Wait,
That.
I was gonna ask you before we get it. So, you know who John Mulaney is? The comedian.
John Mulaney.
He's a white guy.
Yeah,
in
he was
suits.
on Chappelle's show. He plays the guitar. Yeah.
No, that's John Mayer.
John Mayer.
Oh.
But John Mulaney.
Wait, he's a comedian?
Yeah. Where the suits.
Like very straight arrow.
Yeah.
Blue collar type of comedian looking. I know you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I think so. But he had Dave on his show, like opening for him because he was in Ohio.
Are you talking about the backlash he got from having Dave on his show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
So
that.
I was gonna ask with that is how do comedians manage like their fans? Because it's like literally, you know, this guy's a fan of
You're
Dave.
asking a comedian who has no fans. I don't know.
But so with him, it's like he's a very straight laced, like this is the guy, right? So when you see this guy, and then he brings
fucks with a condom on.
Right, and he brings on. Apparently, he doesn't though. Hold on, can we actually? Let's just get a little bit in the background. Apparently, he doesn't. He divorced his wife, went to rehab, got out, got like the hottest comedian in comedy as a girlfriend, and then knocked her up a few months later. So he went through some crazy run. He went through a crazy run, and apparently he doesn't. Just saying. Gives the appearance that he does a bunch of Elmo shows for some reason, but apparently he's out here wilding. But because of that...
That's the key part. I remember, bro, he does not fuck with... That's what,
like, I saw him,
that's
dude.
what stuck in your mind.
Dog, when he got like...
What's the nigga birthday? I don't know, but I know he fucks with no condoms, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. But the thing about it is like when he's like... he's the guy who's like making all these smart jokes, and he's like, I mean, on SNL all the time, which we all know has just been a lot more left leaning with everything that they do in their jokes and stuff. It does seem very political. He's all in and around the NBC circle. He's doing kids shows and stuff like that. So then so his fans are probably a specific type of people who believe specific type of things. And then when you bring the greatest comedian, pretty much period, out to do his craft, and people are like, I don't like those types of jokes. To me, that shows that your fans are not comedy fans. They're just a fan of you.
I mean, like, if they're a fan of you, they're a fan of comedy.
Not necessarily,
a particular
though.
type.
I guess so, but when you
Or
bring
like a certain genre, like being like, I don't like country, but I fuck with rap.
So you know what this?
It's like going to like a fucking, like a horror movie. Like, man, I don't like movies, but I like horror. Well, you still like movies, but it's horror movies. It's the type of.
So this gives me the same energy. I don't know if you were aware of the situation that happened. It's been years, but basically, Tyler the Creator had a big festival. He had his own festival, and then as a guest that no one knew was going out, he had Drake come out and perform. Well, his fans booed Drake because they thought Frank Ocean was coming out. Everyone in their mind made themselves believe.
I think I remember that. It was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, everyone made themselves believe Frank Ocean was coming out. So when Drake, the greatest entertainer of the generation, best streaming, most popular person, comes out and gets booed, you're like, oh, these fans, you start realizing the fan disconnect. Like Tyler realizing, wow, my fans are the type of fans to boo the great. Like for Tyler the Creator to be able to secure a Drake surprise feature, he literally had to get off stage. He goes, all right, well, appreciate y'all, I'm Drake. He had to just get off the stage. He got booed into oblivion. Like it was insane. But I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting thing where you would think that as a group of people who enjoy comedy or music, that you would be able to appreciate the greatest.
So I know you do your own comedy, but you also host. What do you like to do better, or like what's the difference between the two?
Hosting and just performing.
Yeah.
Well, hosting, it's more crowd work. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm performing, I really don't have to worry particularly about crowd work. I can come in and do the jokes I already have set. But with hosting, you gotta, the audience is gonna be seeing you for the whole night. So if they don't like the host, pretty much they're not gonna like the show overall because you're pretty much the energy. If a comic bombs, it's your job to tell a joke,
reset the
tone and everything. So, and it takes a whole lot of crowd work. So usually I go in, I try to. Not everybody, but hey, what's your name? How are you doing? Just, to gain that intimacy, gain that trust. So, but hosting makes you a better performer because it's a different skill set because you can't rely on your jokes all the time. Sometimes you just gotta just have a conversation. You know what I mean? And I love it, dude. I love it. It made me a better comedian.
Yeah. Does it help you like develop material or?
Oh yeah. Sometimes there's moments where I'm just talking to people. I'm not even like worried about jokes. I just want to get insight to how what do you go through? What do you do? You know what I mean? And with that, I come up with jokes. Or sometimes I figure out a way to tell my jokes differently. You know what I mean? Like I did I did this, I think Sunday. It was an open mic and I told my joke from like third person. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? From like, instead of telling a joke, I told the joke about me telling the joke.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Some Inception type shit. Yeah.
And it killed like even harder than the actual bit, but it was just because I was having a conversation. So I thought of like actually telling the joke from that angle next time instead of the traditional. You know what I mean? It just it requires me to adapt and just to add more to my material. I love hosting, man. I think every comic should host. It makes you better. Yeah. Period.
Do you ever have to like rally the crowd back in attention wise? Like if someone just killed it and they're still going on.
No, if somebody kills it, I want to keep that energy, so I quickly bring up the next comic.
Oh, okay.
But if somebody's like bombing or they like come in and they have like a joke about, you know, the Uvalde shooting or something, like something that's just, you know what I mean? Something that's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And you got to come in and you got to rearrange the energy. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you make it worse. You know what I mean? But once you do it enough, you'll understand, you know, how to read a room, how to read people. So
I think it's all about like noticing. So I was there on Sunday, and I was noticing a lot of basically the necessary steps for like crowd control. It's like the first thing I saw you do when you got on stage was like, all right, this is what I like to do to make things more intimate. I want to bring everybody to the front. So everybody who's in the back, fill up these empty seats. Let's already trying to change and shift the energy from the beginning of what the show is going to be. I want you guys to be close. I want you guys to be intimate. I want you guys to be involved. And from there, just going into it, and I was like, okay. I started seeing it from that perspective. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, this really does bring a better energy. Because, like, I'll see it. Like, Roman specifically will be sitting here, like, I'm watching TV. He'll just pop up on me and run a bit. And I'll be like, first of all, you drive-by'd me with this. And so it's hard for me to, like, feel it. And I'm just like, I'll give my opinions. But then you see when you're in the show, when you're in the crowd, the energy is different. Like, you're in a funny energy where things, like, you're there for that. And that's a lot of, like, how the host brings people on. Like, I was seeing Patrick, the host who was going on before. There, you know, you got to deal with, like, if someone's heckling the entire show, the host is dealing with that the entire time. And that's, like, a thing that you're going to try to, like, figure out how you're going to maneuver this, because this is going to be an issue for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's all trial and error, man. There's been times, like my first heckler I ever dealt with, I did it, like, malicious. Like, you shut the fuck up, fuck you. And then, like, me being angry created the whole angry vibe. Now everybody's like bummed down, like, dude, what's going on? Like, everybody's just like tense. So you got to do, like, it's like a gentle touch, man. You gotta address, like, hey, man, quiet down, but don't be too malicious. It's fun. It's fun though, man.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I guess what I started realizing, because that always seems like the slipperiest slope, I guess it seems to me that it's a matter of figuring out what they want. Do they want attention? Do they want, like, what is it that they're trying to get?
It's usually attention. I feel like
and then, like, you just kind of, like, either let them know they're not getting any more attention or overload them with attention to where they're done. It seems just weird, like, it's such a difficult thing to maneuver.
But I think I told you this last time I was here. Usually people like that are drunk and they have a limited rationale. So once you do so many sets, you kind of understand what their incentive is. You understand what they want. So all you got to do is just work with, just probably, like, talk to them for, like, a good 30, 40 seconds. Just get all the details out. What do you like? Oh, I like this. Or it's like, well, what do you like? Oh, fuck you. Oh, you said fuck me. So I see you're kind of, like, a little bit aggressive. I know how to deal with that. I can dish it out. Or when you're talking to them, they're drunk and they have, like, a rebuttal. They're actually conversating with you. You can tell, oh, you're having fun, but you're just drunk. You know what I mean? So you're kind of enjoying it too much as you want to blur out. But the fact that you're conversating with me means you're not trying to be malicious. But you have other times where, like, yo, how are you doing? Fuck you. Ah! I'm like, all right, now you just being a dick. So you kind of, you know what I mean?
Do you ever, like, have to point to security, be like, yo, this person's like...
I don't, me personally, I don't like kicking people off. There's comics that go, like, I bring up and they're like, man, can somebody get this guy, yada, yada. But personally, for me, I never actively told somebody they should leave. A fucking one of the bartenders came up to me like, "Yo, do you think you should kick out these two people?" I'm like, "Nah, just let them stay. You know, I'll deal with it. You know, so I like, you know, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I don't. You know,
I see that. So you're in it for, like, the sparring of it all too, right?
It's fun,
you know,
bro.
you like that.
Yeah. Unless they're just being super loud. But, like, that's never happened in my case.
So it's like a chess game to you almost.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just fun, man.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that creates an unknown. You don't know where it's gonna go. So typically, like, when comedy is unknown, we don't know where it's gonna go. It ends up being funny, regardless if it's terrible or not. This is all fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I like it.
I've also noticed, apparently, this is only an American thing. So I guess probably it accentuates or lowers in different areas of the country. But I was watching this thing where basically, like, I guess comedy is such an early thing. According to what they were saying, like, I guess comedy in America, in the way that it is right now, is about, like, 40 some odd years old. And they were talking about, that's what they were saying. And they were talking about basically the Mexican comedy scene that's happening right now is about 10 years old, give or take. And they were talking to this really big comedian from Mexico City who's, really kind of running the scene
George
over
Lopez.
there.
No, I'm just fucking.
Who's really running the scene.
Gabriel Iglesias.
And they were asking him questions about how, like comedy in America differs and stuff like that.
Like a sophisticated.
And what he said is that in America, people feel the need to respond. And not only just heckling, but also just when they laugh, they have a need to respond. Like, that's so true. Or like, oh, yeah. Or like, I do see that. I don't know what it is about us here in America that I don't know if it's the main character complex or something like that, that we do feel like our voice needs to be heard, even in a place where our voice doesn't need to be heard.
Oh, yeah. America's, yeah. We're a very hot country. That's why a whole lot of countries hate us. You know what I mean? I was watching this one interview. I think this was in like France or something like that. But they said America is one of the few countries we are very infatuated with small talk. You know what I mean? Like, I think this was in like Germany. Like it's all about just get to the point. Yo, what do you want? This. What do you need? That. But America, we're all like, well, how's your day? How's the weather? Oh, what's going on? I like those shoes. Small
Right.
talk. We value small talk so much. So I feel like it's so diverse. And you see it in our videos. You know what I mean? Our TikToks and everything. Every little thing is just we can point our interest to like something very what's the word? Like irrelevant.
I feel like that's...
But we make it fun and we make it hilarious. You know what I mean?
Which is what we're good at, but at the same time with the TikTok thing specifically is the interesting part with like different countries. Like in America, we incentivize dumb things. We incentivize people falling. We incentivize people doing things that are dumb, that are random, that are entertaining for sure. But like in China, they're incentivizing, like when you're going on TikTok, it's incentivizing like engineers, scientists, people doing like works of like basically things that are going to better the society, as opposed to like us who like just mind-numbing things that are just like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's this.
Or it's
as
like,
opposed to like, oh, this is beneficial. This is inspiring. I should do this. We're just like, and if anything, it is inspiring. Like, yo, I could do that dumb shit. Yo, I could fall like that. I really could fall like that. I would look hilarious falling like that.
Yeah. Yo, I could buy that and review it and like...
Yo, I should buy that because they bought it and then they reviewed it and now I want to buy it. And if I buy it, I could also review it. And it's just such a weird process, which it makes me wonder, like, I never know if we set a goal, but I guess that's the point of freedom, right? Like the whole point of freedom is just like, you guys get to determine where this ship goes. You know what I mean? As opposed to like a country being like, this is where we want the ship to go, and this is how we need you guys to be to get us there. It just seems kind of interesting, like seeing these art forms in different regions, because like I'll hear about comedy in other places, and it just sounds wild. Like hearing about like kind of how like the England, UK comedy scene is compared to like what's going on over here. And I just feel like, at least for comedy, America's the spot. But it's just like, it's the place. But it's just weird to see, like, you see other people's cultures seep into it and just how it works over there.
Yeah, as far as comedy, yeah. I saw an interview with Chappelle, and he said comedy is probably the most American genre there is. Just because the way we talk, the way we, like you said, how free we are with our opinions, it's unheard of in any other country besides America.
Yeah.
It's dope, man. I'm blessed for that.
Yeah, like we could all sit here and say like, screw the president, and no one's gonna come in and arrest us.
Oh yeah, we're probably all gonna get canceled for that first 15 minutes of the podcast.
And why do we have to throw it in the front? Why do we front load with all the wild opinions?
See why I don't use my real name?
That should have been the closer. I'm already...
I'm chilling, man.
It's a wrap for me. It's a wrap for me.
I'm talking over. I'm not incriminating myself.
Yeah.
But that's... You're like, damn, I shouldn't have used my first name either in the beginning.
Yeah, we went in hard.
By the way, as we're on here, I I don't know why I'm doing this to him, but maybe I don't. What are your opinions on the hat he's wearing right now?
Red Bull Racing 11.
You go ahead and do a little side. Go ahead and do a little side. Like turn your whole head to the side so you can really just see the billboard you have plastered on top of your head.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit. I just know Red Bull. Everything else is like, what the fuck?
But can you believe that? Can you believe that there was money spent on this for him to promote other brands, for him to walk around? He paid to walk around and promote other brands.
And in turn, are they paying you?
No,
Wait,
no, he chose to do this.
What the hell?
No,
This is what he wants.
No.
This is what he finds cool. This is what he's into all of a sudden.
Bro, I don't understand. I'm confused.
It.
Like, yeah, let me pay you so I can sponsor your Jordans. Like, what the fuck?
No. No, so
Buy a pair of
he's
shoes,
just
man.
blaming me because I got into Formula One recently, and yeah, this is just like my favorite driver.
Oh,
But he's like Mexican, like he's the only Mexican driver in Formula One, and everyone else is like European.
We're talking about the sport where you need to be driving from the moment that you're 6 years old. Your parents got to be able to afford to put you in karting and want you to be in it. And then a company like Red Bull has to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to put into a car. And literally, that's a money game. It's not who's the best. It's what company spent the most on their car. Because these aren't just like normal race cars. These are like insane performance cars.
There's a lot of science too behind it. Like they
It's
have like
nerd shit. It's just
Yeah.
white people literally like in Europe. It's not even American white. American white, that's like white trash NASCAR. This is like elite European whites out there. And I don't know why he's doing this to us and the children. But he's been on this shit. Last time, Sean was sitting where you were, and we're having this interview and everything's cool, but in the background, he's got the F1 race on. He's just peeking because it's the qualifiers. The fuck does that mean? That means they got to race to figure out who can race.
it's not to, no.
And it was that important. I was like, all right, bro, that's fine. Remember that. Just remember that
I
when
can relate, bro. I like the movie Cars.
Yeah, right. Ciao, dude.
bro, that's life is a highway. That's white trash.
He constantly like points things out to be like, hey man, you're switching up and you're like letting go of your culture. Like this weekend.
I just want him to know.
Funny shit ever. Hey, bro, you take the hat off, bro. You fucking up the culture.
Yeah.
I just like NASCAR, bro. What's up with that?
No, like this past 2 weeks, my wife and I went up to Fredericksburg for my birthday, and we went to
Already, mind you, go ahead. You in Fredericksburg, but go ahead.
I didn't know it was a German town.
Continue.
Were they friendly?
No, they're friendly. I mean, they were nice to me. I don't know. I didn't interact with a lot of people.
Like, well, don't use language. I don't know how they talk.
Yeah, but
I'm fucking
You're
that.
about to get racist, but it's white racism, so it's fine.
yeah. So we went to this vineyard and we talked to the lady or whatever. We did the tasting and all that, and it was she was like, so this is like the difference between the barrels, and this is how they add flavors, and like doing all the nerd shit about wine. And then at the end, my wife and I are a little tipsy, and she's like, you guys could become members and like hang out and like go to the like tastings, and you would get like shipments of wine every 5 months, and all you really pay for is the wine and the shipping. Are you guys?
Burnt Jew.
She was like, are you guys down? And then we were tipsy enough to be like, yeah. So then I became a member of this wine club.
So I said, oh, you have a wine subscription now? He goes, no, I'm a member of the wine club. I said, bruh.
Good for you. He's moving up, bro.
Right. I told him to grow up, be a member of something.
I told him I'm a proud member of the NRA, and we have our convention here in Houston going on right now. In such a pivotal time, we have a lot of big change, okay? All right? I'm out here being active in the community, okay? I'm out here being active.
Jesus
Maybe
Christ.
we shouldn't use the word active when talking about the NRA.
Yeah.
We need to chill out with that. I'm sorry. We need to calm down.
Maybe put the safety on.
This is sponsored by. All right.
Sponsored by the NRA.
Come and take it.
Dude, especially in Texas, bro. Texas is a crazy place because everyone got a gun. Like, that's just kind of how things be around here. But people think that it's as wild. Like, yes, everyone's got a gun.
I don't have a gun.
But Stop saying that in public, bro. You need to stop saying that out loud. You gotta stop saying that out loud.
I stay strapped.
People are not walking around with guns all the time because most of the buildings have the sign where you can't bring it in. So yes, everyone has a gun, but it's just the people that have road rage on the streets that are carrying them with them. That's just is what it is. That's just is what it is. If someone's got a gun in their car, they are a big road rage. Literally every time that someone's got a gun, that gives you the power and confidence to be like, yo, fuck you. I don't know why, but it does.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I had to repo my gun for, you know, financial reasons. But when I had it, bro, you know how many people I was cutting off in traffic? What's up? Do something, nigga.
Yeah, what you gonna do? I guess that's what it is.
bro,
We really need to.
I had a friend that he had like this one thing in his car, and I was like, "Oh, is that to hold up your phone?" And he's like, "Nah, bro, that's for my gun." He had a cup holder for his gun, like right next to the steering
That shit
wheel.
is live.
It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
The ones that I see the clips on the side that you just like. No, one
That's
time.
some James Bond shit.
This is
Yeah.
actually, I'll tell you what, this was the wildest thing. I had a coworker who would always have a gun in his car. And I didn't know that for the longest. And I would, and mind you, we were close friends, so I would be saying some reckless things to him sometimes. I would be saying some wild things that, like, I could probably be crossing the line multiple times. Didn't realize anything. We get off in a bad side of town, and he goes, "Oh, man, fuck this. I don't feel safe around here." He pulls his gun out. I said, "Whoa, how long has that been in here?" He's like, "It's always been in here." I said, "I have said some reckless things. You need to let me know this is in here before I start speaking, because that I feel uncomfortable now." He goes, "You really think that like I would just?" I'm like, "I have no idea. I'm like, I have no idea. I can say some things sometimes."
Wait, the funniest thing was when you and your pops were just chilling they were chilling in the studio, and for whatever reason, your dad just like,
Oh yeah, he sits down. We're here. We're recording music, and he goes, "Oh man," and he puts the gun on the table, and I'm just like, all right, my neighborhood's a little wild. But then you walk in, there's music playing, we're getting in a vibe, but there's a gun on the table. Like, yo, why is there a gun on the table? Like, it's part of the vibe. Like, you cannot set a vibe. I think if you're in a group and everyone's trying to figure out, like there's always the hierarchy dynamics. People are going to figure out who's holding court in the room. You put a gun on the table, that just sets the tone. That sets the tone for the room. The tone of the room is there's a gun on the table, okay?
Bro, I can match that, and I just whip my dick out.
"That's what I was gonna say."
What's up?
It's the second best thing you
guns on
got
the table. Quickly, because this is gonna be the last thing, and it's something I was
Your
trying to
shit
bring
loaded?
up.
Mine is. Is Young Thug having trouble getting the support he needs How old is
from
young,
the community?
How old is Young Thug?
Probably like 30 something.
He ain't young no more. He need to change his name, nigga.
Just Thug. He's just Thug now.
Old Thug or some
Oh,
shit.
thug, medium thug.
You know what I mean?
Is all the cross-dressing and weird things he wore in the past hindering him from having the... I have not seen free Young Thug shirts the way I saw free Lil Wayne shirts. The way you see like so many of the other free shirts. Mm-hmm. Are we having trouble freeing Young Thug because of his cross-dressing past?
What did Young Thug do?
So Young Thug is basically... He got caught in a RICO case. So what they're saying YSL, which is Young Stoner Life, his record label, they're saying it's a gang. The Fulton County DA in Georgia is saying YSL is a gang, and they're using lyrics to back up the fact that they're all a gang. They're using the slat tattoos and the slime language that they say to paint this picture that YSL is a gang, Young Thug is the leader, and they're responsible for over 50 murders. They're responsible for all these drug trafficking, all this gang stuff basically, and they all got hit with an indictment, and they've been having him in solitary confinement. He's been denied bond 3 times now. He's had record label execs come out and try to speak on his behalf. He's got all the best lawyers in Georgia, in Atlanta, out here trying to get him bond. But there's so much stuff going on. For instance, they just got phone, like there was a hidden phone with police intercepting it and wiretapping it of other YSL members in jail reaching out to the free world and trying to get evidence destroyed. So like, yo, go grab this because if the cops find it, it's going to be a wrap. The cops are like, okay, we know you have a phone now. We found that evidence and we found more evidence. So things are just kind of getting crazier. Good. They're just not looking the best. They got Gunna in there too. It's
probably why everybody see the results like, oh, you ain't getting out, nigga. Even if we try.
What they're basically saying right now is like every time they deny a bond because they're like, look, these people are like trying to control things from the inside. Imagine if Thug's out. He'll have all the power and control to do whatever he needs to do to destroy evidence, to witness tamper, and he's a flight risk. More felonies will be committed is what they say if he's out on bond. And so it's been a big fight. And it's been a big issue. And he was like one of the golden children of like the Atlanta scene, really putting people like Lil Baby on, really shaping the culture of what hip hop is right now. It's just kind of crazy to see them under such conditions that seem like it's not going to be the best. There was video of the DA, and it's a white dude. So this sounds insane when a old white dude is saying,
with no beat to put you in a trance.
With no beat, saying Young Thug was in a beef, for lack of a better word, with a rapper, says his real name, who also goes by YFN Lucci. There is a situation where YSL and his associate and all this stuff put a hit on his mother and, shot his mother. And then they read these lyrics of, we pulled up on your mother with the Smith & Wesson. Like, they're reading the lyrics of what he said and basically being like, look, he said he killed his mom. He said he shot his mother in these lyrics. But without a Metro Boomin beat, it don't hit the same. Like, there's a literal line where he goes, my people really be slime and we committing these crimes. There's a line where it says, if you want to be YSL, go catch a body. like these lyrics now are insane when they're being read in court by some just district DA.
I'm pretty sure it is. He has that proper white man voice.
Yeah.
It just sounds terrible.
Yeah, you're like, oh no.
This guy said he'll shoot up 2 cats and pimp hoes all day. Like, what?
So I don't know. It's just been a very crazy thing for the culture because that's been the whole big thing to me.
Skeet, 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 skeet,
But, talking about court cases and stuff, Johnny Depp winning one for the City Boys. Do you think Will was next? And will he be freed?
Who?
Will Smith.
What about Will Smith?
Is he going to be free from...
He's already free. They went to Africa or something.
No. Is he getting freed from Jada? Will he ever be free from Jada?
No.
She responded. She said she hopes him and Chris talk it out.
What a bitch.
So that's what we got on that. But on that note, I think we got what we need.
Yes.
Let
the people know where they can find you performing and hosting and doing your thing.
Socials, anything that you need the people to know.
You can find me near your local taco truck. I love tacos. All right, no, I'm just fucking with you. I perform at the Secret Group. I'm there every night, most likely. I host a open mic, Back of the Bus Comedy, every Thursday. And you can catch me at a show there Friday, 10 p.m., Best of Secret Group. So, yeah.
Nice.
All right, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
We had a great time talking to you.
Yeah.
We hope to see you really soon.
Oh, word, it was my pleasure, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate the cover. I'm comfy in the bitch.
Tell your Theos we out here being wild, speaking reckless, speaking for them.
My Theos, my Latinos, my Latinas.
The Latinx.
Latinx. Is it Latinx or Latinx?
I say Latinx, but he says when I say Latinx that sounds like a racial slur.
Latinx?
Well, see, I had the
It sounds like a more successful laxative.
No. See, I had the theory in my head that it sounded like a slur, and then I had a white friend make a joke and they said Latinx, and then I was like, oh, now it really does sound like a slur.
Latinx? Get those Latinx out of here. It doesn't sound like a slur.
It don't sound hard enough.
It doesn't sound hard.
It doesn't end with an R. Like, I don't know. There's something you can't soften it.
Pixie wings or some shit like that. I don't know. Latinx.
That sounds like Latin gays.
Isn't that what
Wait,
it
that's
is?
a La Twink. I'm sorry.
That's a thing?
No.
Oh.
No.
La twink. Like,
No, I thought that they made a Latinx for people that didn't want to identify as Latino.
Yeah, that's
or
basically
Latina.
gender neutral. Instead of Latino, they got to throw an X. Latinx.
bro, just be it simple. You're an it or an A.
And that's the thing is, to be honest, no Hispanic, no legit Mexican like identifies with that. I've
Yeah,
met.
because
Or identifies that as a thing because I
Like-
think that's created by white people.
probably those white people with like
Yeah.
10% Mexican. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like because the Spanish language requires you to say things have gender,
Yeah, that's what I'm
not
saying.
because like the table has a penis or a vagina, but because that's
It's
just
a feminine table.
yeah. This is just the table identifies as a woman.
According to
Off rip.
Yeah. But thanks for coming on. Thanks for listening. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share,
Go to Anchor, drop the Anchor.
and hit a comment. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about next.
whatever we said in the first initial 15 minutes, it was all for fun. None of that was sincere.
Yeah, none of this in general was sincere. I don't think we was being sincere.
We're
the
a
entire
comedy
time.
podcast. We are not comedians because we've never done stand up. You're the real comedian.
But y'all but y'all are still hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
And
We
what
appreciate
said in the
that.
first 15 minutes was funny as fuck, so fuck you.
And